Hello everyone, welcome back to the OWC World Cup 2022. We've got yet another match in a round of 32 stage here. We're about to see Hong Kong versus Denmark. Actually, I think it's the first time these teams are playing against each other. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, anyway, this is Azer. We've had a little bit of an unfortunate turn of events with our casters today. A lot of them got sick, so we're bringing in the emergency, our local catch caster, Quinton. First time casting the Standard World Cup, I guess. How are you?
Azer, thank you. Honestly, going to be honest, I'm a little nervous, but I think I'll definitely manage with someone that experienced as you by my side. So really happy to be on the biggest desk of them all, right? So, and also really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's always fun to do these mode crossovers. We've had to use the standard casters and in the other modes as well. I think Chillier Pair did his share of effort in the Catch World Cup as well. But yeah, so we've got the Hong Kong and Denmark match here as well. I mean, both teams that have changed a lot recently, which is, I think both kind of an upward trajectory. Hong Kong, surprisingly, I think, despite losing a bunch of their players, still managed to show up, had a pretty good showing in qualifiers. And I think Denmark, also notably the first time qualifying, I think, since 2019, I believe.
Yeah, 2019, definitely. Yeah, Denmark definitely coming back strong. After a hiatus of 2 years, not qualifying in 2021 and 2020, and then Hong Kong having their best finish ever last year, and definitely want to match that this year again. So both these teams definitely in the rising as of late.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of new names to look out for on both sides here. I think most notably just looking at I Am a Lover and Poi on the side of Denmark, who have definitely been the top performers in their qualifier runs.
Yeah, definitely. I Am a Lover, especially outstanding performance coming from them, definitely helping Denmark getting into that 24th seed, which is already quite a high seed coming back from a non-qualification position last year. And we see Nomad 2 getting banned by Hong Kong, that is, I believe. So Azer map once again taken away from the table here.
It's standard by now. I think it's been banned or not played in every single match. Which is pretty funny.
We haven't seen it indeed. So people not liking our Nomad 2 map this year. And now we're waiting for Denmark's ban. They're going to go for Hidden 2. So I believe that's a low AR Hidden taken away by Denmark. Not surprising, given how Hong Kong had a beautiful showing on the Hidden in the qualifiers, in Denmark fully struggled in that mob brackets just a little bit.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense for Denmark. I think, unfortunately, they don't really have like a 4-man roster on that type of map. You have some people that are able to play it just fine, like I Am a Lover and I Am Vil are able to play it, but I mean, we had some like B ranks in their qualifiers on Hidden 2, so that's just not going to compare to Hong Kong, where they have many players that are really comfortable on that, and honestly, they're kind of known to be a pretty strong Hidden 2 roster, so smart ban from Denmark. I'll have to see what the first pick for Hong Kong is. Honestly, there's a lot of things that they could go for. If you're just comparing scores and qualifiers, I think Hong Kong have the upper edge. But there's nothing really that's, other than Hidden 2, which again was just banned out, there's nothing that's like super outstanding, as heavily favored for Hong Kong. Maybe some of the DTs would play in their favor, so I'm expecting them to pick a lot of that. But beyond that, not too sure.
Yeah, same here, honestly. They are taking their time. Definitely discussing it. They're going to go for Hidden 1, which is, I guess, a reasonable pick given how there was quite a difference in the qualifier scores for both these teams in the Hidden bracket. Hong Kong definitely taking the upper hand in that sense. So the last Hidden pick that is available is going to be taken away immediately by Hong Kong for their very first pick of this year's OWC, actually.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking for Denmark's roster here, most notably, because same thing as Hidden 2, you're going to have I Am a Lover and I Am Vil that are able to play this just fine, but who else are they playing? In qualifiers, their other two players kind of struggled on it. Since this round has a pretty significant downgrade in difficulty, and this pick is also significantly more straightforward than the Hidden one that was in qualifiers, which had a lot of like Axel, D-Cell streams and stuff like that. This one is much more approachable, and they do kind of swap their players around a little bit. We're going to see Toilet Player and Tuagi is on the wrong team. Probably Mahisuru, maybe Poi will be playing. We'll have to find out what they pick on the Denmark side.
Yeah, Tuagi had a really decent showing in the qualifiers as well. I saw MCY coming from Hong Kong, definitely Shirayuki, and we're waiting for that fourth player. We see Toilet Player coming in as a 4th player for Denmark. I believe that is replacing Marco from the qualifiers. So there's a small change for the Hidden 1 roster for Denmark. And we see A21 obviously coming from Hong Kong as well, one of their strongest players.
Yeah, this looks like it's kind of the standard roster for Hidden on pretty much the rest of the tournament for Hong Kong. This is easily their best 4 players at any type of Hidden map, so it's pretty scary to go against. I mean, that's probably why they first picked it. Pretty tall order for Denmark to go against this, but yeah. Hong Kong, I think, on paper, looking pretty strong on their first pick.
Yeah, definitely. Also, Denmark banning Hidden 2 is also an indication of their weakness on the Hidden bracket, so I think Hong Kong, and both Hong Kong and Denmark expected this to probably go similarly as it is going right now. We're going already for this very first pick of this round of 32 match between seed number 9 Hong Kong and seed number 24 Denmark.
Yeah, this is probably the only Hidden map that you'll see a significant advantage, I think, for Hong Kong, because it's not like Denmark has no players that are able to play it. So even if you're playing in free mods and stuff like that, most of the free mods tend to favor Hard Rock anyways, so they only really need 1 or 2 players to run the Hidden, so they're fine for those. So I think in theory, Hong Kong should like landslide win this pick, but it might just be the only one where that's the case. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we see a small accuracy lead in the beginning of this pick. MCY and Hong Kong somewhat struggling, but we see 94 I Am Vil and 97 I Am the Lover as well. So that's going to give Hong Kong like a 10,000 point buffer in the beginning section of this map. And I Am Vil is actually going to be finding the first miss of this match, and that's going to further increase that gap for Hong Kong. It's an early break. This map is 3 minutes and 20 in length in total, so plenty of time still. So why are you going to be trading that actually? And that's going to decrease that advantage. But Paul is well going to keep missing, so that's 3 misses already. 5 full combos still left on the board. 3 on the Hong Kong side is going to keep extending that lead for them. Oh. 8-1 actually, yeah, as you said. Also finding a miss, so that's 2 misses each. MCY, Shiraka, and then Ayame Lover and Toilet Player, all 4 of them still holding on to an FC. Accuracy advantage slightly in favor of Hong Kong, I believe, given Ayame Vil's 95, but A21 finding another break. Doing it 60,000 point buffer, but Ayame Lover.
Oh, that's big. Yeah, Ayame Lover definitely breaking at the wrong time there. It's going to be. I mean, it was kind of looking promising. Oh, Shida Harayuki actually matching that. So hold on, it's actually not quite over yet. The lead is actually slightly in Denmark's favor as well, with A21 finding another miss. Hold on.
Yeah, and Toilet Player and MCY, the only ones holding on to the full combo. MCY is actually slightly bigger, and I'm Vil accurate as well in the 95 section, so that's hurting Denmark's score just a little bit, but I think that lead is definitely decreasing actually. Combo advantages for Denmark, and MCY misses for Hong Kong, so no full combos left for Hong Kong, and Denmark is in the lead for his first pick. Only a quarter left of the map, and Toilet Player is just running away with it right now.
This is really cool to see. The Toilet Player and Poe just honestly weren't there in qualifiers for this pick, and now suddenly they are, and they're kind of top performing for their team when this team was supposed to. I mean, if you just look at score comparisons, definitely Hong Kong favored, but Denmark is showing up to play right now.
That's definitely one more missing on Kong. Look at that scoreboard. That's 200,000 points in difference already, all in the back of Toilet Player, but the other 3 players also holding two really nice supporting combos. 821 finding another break. Shirai also earlier on, and Denmark is just running away with this poly trading, but as long as Toilet Player is holding on to his full combo, I think this one is in the bag for Denmark.
There's basically nothing left at this point. They could all break, they would still win. It's just Tuaki with any sort of combo, and I don't think it would even be enough to bring it back. There's only one section at the end here, so I mean, really putting in the work for Denmark here.
I am going to find a miss poly as well. I'm in Lover. No combos left in the lobby except for Toilet Player and Suwai, but Toilet Player just did so much damage to this Hong Kong team, and beautiful performance coming from them. Finding the FC as well, actually. Only FC in the lobby, so wow. I believe only with a 1 miss, but alright, Denmark is coming coming in really, really strong, actually. That's why actually only with a slider break, sadly, but Toilet Player, beautiful performance. That's a 250,000 point difference in Denmark, 1-0 up and breaking Hong Kong immediately.
Yeah, this score by Toilet Player, very, very, very important. I mean, first pick of the match, right? There's always some nerves that can catch some people. Hong Kong maybe catching a couple misses here and there. And yeah, I mean, Denmark was there to capitalize on that. And now it's their pick, so we'll have to see what they choose to go for. I think this is a team that would want to play more mechanics-oriented picks. So you're probably looking at something like Hidden 1 or Hard Rock 1. I don't think they want to touch DTs. Maybe DT1. But yeah, I mean, they basically have the entire pool to choose from, right? So we only played one map, so let's see what they want to start off with.
It's crucial Denmark to confirm this breakpoint, right? If you win your own pick now, you're in a 2-0 lead, and that just... You always have that buffer, right? And that's beautiful. If you just keep on winning your own picks now, you never have to even play the tiebreaker, and you're just cruising to the finish line, right? Going a little further in the timeline. So this pick is really important, actually, from Denmark. Also, this is only a best-of-9 scenario, so...
Ooh.
And the breakpoint is beautiful. And we see Fremont 2 actually getting picked by Denmark.
Okay, so we're seeing speed map coming from them. As a reminder, again, this map is essentially what used to be known as No Mod 5. It's got some mods on it now, and the map style changed a little bit to have more aim. I mean, this isn't really a thing that's present in qualifiers, so it's kind of interesting to see how this is going to go. There's not really a precedent, but I would assume the toilet player is going to play Hard Rock on this and probably do very well. Probably going to see Vil maybe with the hidden on this on the side of Denmark, and maybe on the side of Hong Kong. Honestly, they're so well-rounded, it's kind of hard to determine who's going to be playing what mods on what, but this is a map where we are able to see a lot of Hard Rock over mods. The base stats on this map with hidden or no mod are quite low. It's very dense at CS3 and Era 9.1, so a lot of players will tend to prefer just taking the Hard Rock. The map is a lot harder, but at least it's a lot more comfortable for them, so might be seeing some overmodding here.
Yeah, definitely. Phil had I believe, the lowest performance on Denmark with the hidden pick that we just had, so we might not see him on the hidden. I'm not entirely sure. We see Toyplay actually getting subbed out for... Okay, never mind. So Marco and Toyplay are also both coming in, I think. And then I Am a Lover is actually getting subbed out. Yeah, there we go. All right. On the Hong Kong side, we see F2X making his first appearance, RLSC as well, and then Shira and Suwagi staying in. So A21 and MCY, so I think that the two powerhouses from Hong Kong both stepping down for this one. So interesting lineup for Hong Kong somewhat.
Yeah, I think they're kind of both of their speedier players. RLSC most notably just performed outstandingly on all the speed picks, which isn't really that surprising.
This one is also 3 minutes and 10 in length, so similar length as the previous one. All of these players are somewhat accustomed to this map length, you could say. We're getting the MP Star command started, so second pick of this match, Denmark's pick. We see an overmod coming from Poly with the hidden Hard Rock, and then RLSCX also with the RLSC with the Hard Rock, and F2X with the hidden Hard Rock as well. So the mods are equal, I do believe. Suwagi and Ironville both on the no mod.
Yeah, and on this map, most notably, you're watching the hidden players. It's by far the hardest thing to play in this map, so they're kind of playing a key part in how their team goes. I think similarly to how we talked about Denmark seems to kind of... Ooh, that's a lot of breaks. Denmark seem to kind of be missing a full roster of hidden players. I think you can almost make that same argument for Hong Kong here with two of their players in their speed picks and qualifiers kind of much lower accuracy than the other two, so wondering if they're going to be able to keep up with this for now. Looks like they're fine though.
Yeah, Marco is definitely struggling. 92 accuracy, also already founding 2 breaks, and that's going to give Hong Kong quite a advantage right now. Also, only 1 full combo left on Poly, whilst there's 3 on the Hong Kong side. Marco finding another break, definitely struggling in the beginning section of this map. Also, on the counterpart in Shiraya, only with a slight miss right in the beginning, but definitely recovering quite nicely. 98 accuracy as well, firing the combo and counting.
Yeah, we're about to wrap up the first of the trickier aim sections, so for a while now it's a lot more just about bursts and a lot of speed. And Vil actually catching a miss, so that's... And Pole actually did as well earlier, so not much of there's not a lot of combos on the side of Denmark right now. Hong Kong is just going to be flying away with 3 FCs, right? So
yeah, those 3 FCs are doing beautiful work, and Denmark needs misses from all three of these pretty much right now because they're running away with it. Marco finding going to drop Toil as well. Gerard's rating once, but it's 3 misses once again on Denmark. Only Paule right now. He's facing 3 people with a full combo, whilst he's already missed once as well. So Hong Kong, 700,000 points in advantage in the lost third of this map. So that is a beautiful performance coming from them right now.
Thanks, team. Yeah, the hiddens on this are pretty rough. It's almost the lowest scores on both sides here. I mean, Hong Kong, their Hard Rock players on this, so honestly, just doing really well. This is a lot of aim. With Hard Rock, I think this is the highest starting map in the whole pool, so...
Yeah, F2X's score right now is beautiful, actually. Already over 700,000 points right now. We see more misses coming from Denmark, and this one is definitely sealed, and Hong Kong going to be breaking back immediately, so... Denmark not able to confirm that break when we're going to look at a 1-1 scoreline, but there's still 2 full combos actually. RLSC missed right in the beginning, I do believe. Thrilling 10 combo behind his teammates. F2X, beautiful performance coming from them.
Yeah, this is this is quite one-sided here for Hong Kong. What a beautiful performance. Kind of backfiring a little bit for Denmark here. This pick did not really work out, but it's going to be a double break point, so back to 1-1. And I mean, look at those scores from Tsuwagi and F2X. And you're right, it looks like RLSC did miss at the very, very beginning. It's a bit unfortunate.
Team score was over doubles Denmark's team score, so there was literally nothing they could have done there, I do believe. This pick either completely misreading Hong Kong's performance on it or just completely choking it after that first point, but definitely not the pick they would have wanted, I do believe. So 1-1 scoreline, Hong Kong to draw one out next. Hidden already exhausted, so we're gonna have to see a different mod coming from them. I do believe we're probably gonna go for the double time, right? Denmark probably on the back foot on that mod as well, so perhaps a double time 2, a double time 3.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the DT pool as well for Hong Kong here.
Denmark slightly... Yeah, the beginning section of that map didn't look that beautiful, and Hong Kong just ran away with it. Beautiful team performance, I believe. 3.4 million, which is incredibly high to practically 3 FCs, right, with that one missing the very early stages. Nomad 4 actually going to be picked by Hong Kong. So that's the tech map getting picked. So no double time just yet. We are going to go for some Nomad, actually. So after banning Nomad 2, going to go for Nomad 4. Completely different maps, obviously.
Yeah, this one is another pick I think they're rightly looking at. They definitely have a really, really strong roster for this type of map, and there's a very convincing score difference in qualifiers on the Nomad 4 for this team. So you're going to see Shidahara, Yuki, A21, MCY, and Tsuwagi on this most likely. And it's pretty hard to answer that, I think, on the side of Denmark. Although this map is quite different from the previous one we've seen in qualifiers. This just has a lot of slider streams, a lot of snappy aim, some pretty hard like pattern transitions to hit, so you can kind of find misses like everywhere. Somehow I think this is also a very, very popular pick. I think this has 100% presence, so 100% picked or banned in all matches, if I'm correct. Or close to that.
You are. At least very close, definitely. If we saw it earlier today as well, not entirely sure about it. Either way, as you said, Hong Kong definitely the heavy favorites for this one, especially with that qualifier score difference. I believe Hong Kong's score was close to 700,000 points more than Denmark's score, so that's definitely quite a difference.
I said that about the first pick, and that went a completely different way, though, so what's up to see?
That is definitely true as well. And Toil player, once again, back in the lobby, so we might see some clutch FC coming from them. See MCY making his reappearance. I am a lover as well. The rest of the rosters remain relatively unchanged, which is somewhat to be expected, I do believe.
Honestly, looking at this map, it's definitely the type of map that can swing either way. The core gameplay of this map is something that both teams, all 8 players, are going to be able to play. But yeah, those transitions can just catch anyone. So, I mean, it's not too unlikely to have like a 99% with a break or 2 on this. So, definitely have to be super consistent at some very specific parts of this map.
We see RLC and Poly find the first breaks for either team. Actually, Poly, that was not a break, my apologies. For RLC does have the defining breaks, so slight advantage for Denmark, but 2 players from Denmark immediately trading that back. That's gonna switch things over to Hong Kong once again.
Yeah, we get into the first tricky snap section here. Usually find a lot of breaks on this section.
You see 3 breaks coming in from Denmark. Actually, only Ayame Lover holding on. And RLC is the only one break from Hong Kong, but he didn't even have an SC to begin with anyway. So 3 FCs against 1 right now. Tsuwagi gonna find a break, so it's 2 FCs versus 1. But Ayame Lover needs his teammates to build some combo, support him as much as they can.
I think Poly was lag again. He's still FCing. I think it's 2 FCs to 2 right now.
Ooh, actually, definitely with that score, that might be the case indeed. Actually, that is indeed the case.
Yeah, so they're about dead even right now. Just around 130k lead to Hong Kong to play with and stuff like that, but completely even.
Yeah, I am Vill's 92% accuracy is definitely bringing a score quite a bit, I do believe.
Yeah, but even then, like IMA with the 99 on this, just looking really... I think at the break, he actually had 99.8, which is, I think, a single 100 at that point.
It's ridiculous.
Which is pretty crazy, but we're getting into another quite difficult part here, and with the score, how things are right now, any single break on anyone is going to be super impactful.
The low score of this map, 150,000 points to play with right now. 2 FCs versus 2.
Ooh.
Royal player gonna be finding a miss, but that's not a full combo down, so still 2 full combos versus 2, but they need one of the full combos from a Kong to drop.
It's time for some really long sliders. See if everybody does these correctly. Oh, that's a lot of misses already. It's not on the players that you would want. I mean, RLSC and Tsuwagi still holding on, but Poly actually has the biggest combo in the game right now. It might actually be enough to bring it back. I don't think so. Might be a little too late.
Yeah, Poly is still holding on to the FC. The only FC in the lobby, but Kong has quite a bit from Poly and Breaky as well. Relatively close point, 220,000 points in difference. Poly, the near FC, highest score in the lobby by about 100,000 points, but his teammates just struggling a little bit too much in middle sections, costing Denmark this breakpoint. But once again, this was really, really close, actually. Way closer than the qualifier Nomad 4 difference. So beautiful performance coming from either team. That's a 2-1 scoreline for Hong Kong. Denmark to pick next. Curious to see where they want to take this.
Yeah, that was kind of explosive at the end. So much stuff happened. It's just one of those maps where, you know, you think you're doing well, and then suddenly you just miss a single object. So it's just one of those. But
yeah, those long sliders catching quite a lot of people off guard, surprisingly so, in my opinion. I think 4 people missing, of which 3 were FCs or something, so that was a really tricky section there. With Hong Kong supporting combos, we're just holding on just a little bit longer for them, and that's giving them a second vital point, right? Losing your first 2 picks would be quite a blow to the morale, I do believe so. 2-1.
There it is. I was going to say Denmark should be looking at the Hard Rock pool, and they do. So Hard Rock 1 coming up. Very similar type of map to what we just played, actually. This is essentially just a tech map with Hard Rock slapped on it, so a bit less slider aim than that one we just played, which is what everybody was struggling on. This one is more, I guess, like stream centered, so I think this is a really good pick for Denmark, actually.
Yeah, the closest pick will be we're seeing currently right now to only 2 minutes, so this is cost you obviously a little bit more. But first hard pick coming out from Team Denmark. It's a quite a lot of hard pick as well in the free mod, and that was somewhat, how would you say it, heavily favored to Hong Kong. So, but I still think this is quite a decent pick coming in from Team Denmark. We see no change in their roster actually. Poly, I am Vil, Toil Player, and I am Lover staying in. But actually the same goes for Hong Kong, so there are going to be no roster swaps in comparison to that Nomad 4, which would be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I think you're probably looking at Toilet Player for this one. Really, really strong performance. Maybe Pole as well. I think we'll carry the accuracy on this one. On the side of Hong Kong, it's kind of hard to tell if there's one person that really stands out. Maybe MCY4, which is playing right now.
Yeah, FTX also at the FC with the hidden hop on the free mod, so wise choice to put him in as well, I do believe. And there he goes. That's the only substitution actually. FTX coming in. Denmark just feeling the exact same roster. For this hard work 1 pick, 2 minutes and 8 seconds in length. 4th pick of the match.
And this map starts right away. See if anybody trips up at the very beginning.
Probably going to be finding the first miss on the Team Denmark side. The second miss coming from IamVille as well. FTX trading, so quite a lot of misses in this first Bursty section. I am a lover. Only 1 full combo left on Total Player versus 3 on Hong Kong side. That's huge for Hong Kong once again. As you said, Total Player definitely need to look out for, and the only one standing for Team Denmark right now.
And now that we've kind of stabilized a little bit, we're into the more standard part of the map. I mean, you start to see a little bit of act differences, I think, on both teams. IamVille kind of struggling a little bit, about 4 or 5% lower than everyone else. Pretty important lead for Hong Kong here. We're about at the halfway point, and we're after these 1/3. If everybody hits them, going into probably the easiest part of the map, so they get to really drive this combo advantage home.
Oh! Total Player flying 4th and final miss on the Denmark team, where there's no full combos left from their side, and 3 full combos still left on the Hong Kong side, and the combo for FTX also approaching 500, so matching Ayame and IamVille there, and that scoreboard for Hong Kong is just growing immensely. Poly finding another break, but 3 misses on Team Hong Kong side. Actually, that might open the door for Team Denmark if they can hold on to their combos. They have 2 combos of 700. MCY, the only full combo left. The score difference is decreasing, but it's already 400,000 points, so...
Actually, I'm not sure if there's actually enough time with no more further misses. Toilet Player... Oh, MCY is down! Okay.
IamVille and I'm a lover, all pressure on their shoulders, but is there enough time for them to call this lead back? This is decreasing rapidly, actually.
They got around like 5 seconds. Come on.
Oh my goodness. That is actually insane. That is absolutely insane. Beautiful performance coming from I Am a Lover and IamVille, and taking this one right at the end. That is... Wow, 2 slider breaks as well on Team Hong Kong side. Same for I Am a Lover and IamVille, so... 4 S ranks, and that is Team Denmark taking this point.
IamVille with some insane combo gaming
is beautiful, but 2-2 scoreline once again. We have a match in our hands, Caesar, and what a oh my goodness, what a beautiful performance coming from both teams actually. But
yeah, Denmark's kind of scary at like random times. I feel like it's just I don't know. Like you said at the very beginning, I think this is seed number 24. You wouldn't really expect Denmark to just be able to pull out these crazy scores, but they do, and so 2-2 here, and I mean, even then, it's like I don't think Denmark has very clear-cut strengths. You know, there isn't really like these maps where you can say, oh yeah, they're winning that one, they're losing that one. So it's pretty scary, I think, for Hong Kong to be in this situation where they may be looking at an upset here, and Denmark still has all these maps that they're potentially really good on, and there's a bunch of maps in this pool too that there's like no precedent on as well. Like RO32 has not been played. Maybe in theory favors Denmark. Probably nobody knows how any of these teams plays on an old map like DT2 as well. So I don't know. It's getting pretty exciting here.
The thing is as well, on those picks that Denmark won, Hong Kong was in the lead, right? They had all the control on their side, and they just let it slip, and they opened the door wide open, right? A triple miss on that one section where they're leading by over 400,000 points is just... Those things should not happen, and I'm not sure if that's pressure or just something, but they're just opening the door for Denmark right now, and they're definitely capitalizing those mistakes. And we see Nomad 3 actually to switch things. We see Nomad 3 getting picked by Team Hong Kong.
All right, so
Yeah.
for Hong Kong here, they've got to get multiple players doing this really well because I Am a Lover just chews this type of map up like it's nothing. One of the highest scores of all qualifiers actually on this map for I Am a Lover, so it's pretty scary to go against that. They definitely have the players to fight against that, but I mean this map is so long. Really need to have that consistency game, and we kind of just mentioned Hong Kong is kind of finding these random misses here and there. Playing a long pick like this is a little bit scary to look out with all these all these pretty random misses that have been happening. Right, we saw the triple miss on nothing last map, so I don't know. Even though this is Hong Kong's pick, I'm not too sure who it really favors.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm also somewhat scared. I would say scared is probably not the right word, but this is a risky pick coming out from Hong Kong, I do believe. I think the double time pool, they've just kept that wide open for, I think, no apparent reason, but I think the Hong Kong qualifiers for double time were definitely beating Denmark, so on paper they should be able to beat Denmark on the double time pool, right? So let's get going for Nomad 3 after losing Nomad 4, right? It's a different type of map, but still the same mob bracket, so Hong Kong playing with fire just a little bit, but A21 coming back in is huge though for them. We haven't seen them since that first pick, and they are on paper one of the strongest Hong Kong players, right? So 21 making his reappearance is somewhat more assuring.
I think Zezus as well coming in to play their first map, probably their first map in all of OWC. I don't recall ever seeing them before, or at least in the bracket stage.
That could definitely be the case. And that very first map is really memorable, but also really stressful. So
yeah, this is probably not the type of map you want to play your first map on. It's like, it's 4 minutes, it's really straightforward, so it's really just your nerves, you know?
Definitely, but watch them come in and just FC it and leave, never talk again. That would also be...
That would be amazing. Let's see it.
Still holding on to the full combo. We see once again a slight accuracy advantage for Team Hong Kong, which has been the case in all of the previous picks as well, I do believe. So the accuracy department is definitely Hong Kong's side, somewhat. Especially I Am Villa struggling on the accuracy once again, only 92%. Trailing behind everyone else in the lobby by quite a lot most of the times. I'm probably going to be finding the first miss for Team Denmark. The triple miss coming from Team Denmark once again. The early advantage for Hong Kong is insane. They're trailing 3 FCs
it's
down.
So early though, I don't think it's super impactful. There's a lot of other opportunities to break on this, so
Definitely.
especially some of these more aim control sections here during the Kives. I can definitely see a couple misses on that. We do see Vil get caught again.
Yeah, Denmark can switch out that Hong Kong just doesn't run away with it like they did with Fremont 2, right? Where they also had a couple of misses in the beginning and then they were just long gone. I Am a Lover doing everything they can to match those fruitful combos still from Team Hong Kong. 1/4 of the map down. Plenty of time, plenty of room to find misses, but they're just not finding them. Team Hong Kong in this somewhat slower section. Beautiful team performance coming out from Team Hong Kong, approaching the halfway mark already. A first miss coming from Chira, actually. So that's 3 full combos versus 1. I Am a Lover with a 99.5, actually. Highest accuracy in the lobby. Beautiful performance coming from them.
Now this might end up being a prime example of how important where you miss is as well. It looks like it's not really going to be though, because the Denmark players that have already missed at the very beginning are still finding a lot more. But I mean, a miss right in the middle for Shida Yuki is pretty rough. I mean, it's gonna cap their score pretty low. But it doesn't look like Denmark really has like an answer to it. It's just I Am a Lover really able to hold a consistent score on this, and Pole and Ziz is just finding constant misses. So I mean, maybe this is actually a pretty good pick for Hong Kong, and still 3 full combos strong. So
yeah, Paulie definitely straight. And I Am a Lover and Suwagi actually trading miss, but that's the last full combo down from Team Denmark. 821 and MCY, those 2 power outs from Team Hong Kong, still with the full combo. And I was going to comment on the fact that Paulie is just really struggling in this middle section. Anvil with the highest combo on Denmark's side, but his accuracy is below 94, so that's also not that great for them. And that score is already 700,000 points, and only a quarter left. And MC1 and A21 seem really consistent. A21 with a 99.1 actually, and a combo of 1,400 and counting, right? So still going strong. This pick is not backfiring for Team Hong Kong at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of sealed right now. There's only a quarter of the map left, and there's no combo at all to be seen on Denmark. And A21, MCUI4 still at it. No signs of discomfort on this map or anything. And I mean, maybe this is in fact actually a very good pick for Hong Kong. Already a million points ahead. MCUI4 finds a random miss after the break, but yeah, there's this. Actually, both of them do find misses, so there's going to be no FCs on this, but there's just no combo whatsoever to speak of on the side of Denmark, so...
Yeah, we see misses all over the board, and Hong Kong just ran away with it in the beginning sections. Denmark, this is actually a way better pick than we first anticipated, I do believe. Denmark just getting somewhat, I wouldn't say outscaled, but perhaps beaten on the consistency department in this one. And Hong Kong just having two of those players keeping their combos for so long. It's just,
I still think my assessment of Hong Kong before that pick was pretty correct. Again, just like kind of random misses that have been found. Like Shirahara Yuki was kind of just found one or two misses down the middle and then did everything else. A21 MCR4 just random misses as well. It's just that Denmark just couldn't really capitalize on it. They never really got a chance to build a combo on anyone other than Ayame Lover. So I guess it's still a good pick for Hong Kong, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of scary picking a consistency map in that situation, but yeah, they're still able to capitalize on it. And now pick order will go back to Denmark. And I think I'm excitedly looking at Hard Rock 2. Please, someone pick Hard Rock 2. No one's played it yet. It's like the only map.
That was definitely a fair assessment from you, indeed. Once again, no full combo. I think it has been actually the Fremont 2 map. We saw two full combos and one near full combo, but aside from that, I don't think we've seen any full combos from Team Hong Kong, but do correct me if I'm wrong. But we'll see if we see that Hard Rock 2 pick. Somewhat waiting for it. We haven't seen double time, and I don't think, actually, never mind, Denmark is going to go for double time 3, in fact, so somewhat of a risky pick as well coming from Team Denmark. But then again, if they keep on winning their own picks at this point, we are going to go to that tiebreak situation, right? Hong Kong is not leading by any breakpoints currently, so 3-2 scoreline, but we are getting in the stage of the match where the counter picks are probably getting exhausted quite soon by now. And that's why we'll be seeing some new territories with this first double time pick of this match.
I think this is pretty scary. I would have said this is a good Hong Kong pick, so I'm not sure what to think of Denmark playing it. It's not like they can't play it or anything, but I would just kind of give the advantage to Hong Kong for this one. Although I don't think you're going to see any of their typical strongest players. I think A21 and MC4 are probably stepping out for this one. You're going to see RLSC and Ready come in for their first map as well. Tsuwagi also probably leaving for this one. So I don't know, maybe the change of players can give a different result here. I mean, they're not going to have their two best performers on this, but I mean, RLSC on DT maps is kind of just insane to watch.
Definitely looking forward to that one. We see F2X also coming back. On the Denmark side, we see Ayame Lover stepping out, Phil stepping out, we see Marco Poyo and Toro Player coming back in. Some heavy changes on both rosters, actually. A lot of players getting subbed out and subbed in. Obviously, the Nomad 3D double time for a completely different skill set, so someone expects to see Tsuwagi actually coming in for Shira. Well, actually, Shira just getting replaced, Tsuwagi just coming back in because they did play that previous pick.
It's an important pick for Denmark here because if they lose that, they're staring at match point. There's a tiebreaker that would have to be played if they manage to catch up with points. Pretty important pick here.
Definitely. Alright, and there we go. F2X already RLSC Tsuwagi versus Toyo players Jesus, Pole, and Marco on this double time 3 pick. 6th pick of the match. 3rd pick by Denmark. See an early break, I do believe, from ROCS. Once again, same as that Fremont 2, where they missed in like the first 5 notes or something. So interesting to see.
It's a tactical miss.
Yeah, definitely. It did work out last time, so it might work out this time as well.
I think this is actually the first time we're really seeing an accuracy lead in the favor of Denmark this match, so but not going to matter too much with Marco finding... somehow they still are holding out to... Yeah, I guess the accuracy lead was that significant, but now we're seeing a couple more breaks. Leads slightly shifting over towards Hong Kong, just having more combo.
3 full combos or 3 near full combos versus 2 right now. It's why finding a mid-story player as well, so I think that's 2 versus 2, right? Caesars and Pole versus... Actually, Caesars ended up finding a drop as well, so 1 versus 2, RCS F2X versus Pole right now with the combo. Marco finding another break is going to favor Hong Kong into the halfway section of this map already. Only 2 minutes and 20 in length, so a shorter pick.
Whoa!
But we see everyone dropping with a full combo, Torpedo as well, but that's still a slight combo advantage for RO32 versus Steez right now, so Hong Kong still building more score right now. No full combos left in the entire lobby.
That was a crazy opportunity there, but I mean, Jesus breaking the combo as well there, so there's not much in favor of Denmark. Ready and Tsuwagi have managed to recover as well. I'm not sure why everyone just missed on that linear pattern, but it's pretty devastating. Denmark not really able to capitalize on that with Hong Kong dropping their only 2 FCs on it, so still keeping this lead.
And the door was wide open once again, but right now Hong Kong is just doing everything to close it. And those combos from Irene and Suwai, but also the supporting combos from F2X and RLC are just too huge. Poly finding another miss, but that wouldn't have mattered, I do believe. Irene with that, and Suwai with those combos after that initial race, which is too much damage. Toilet Play finding more misses. And Denmark just somewhat collapsing the ending section of this map, but it was all done and dusted by then. So Hong Kong taking a very crucial breakpoint right here in the middle of this match and getting to match point, and they have their own pick and then a Denmark pick and a tiebreaker to close it out. So there's 3 opportunities for them. So definitely a very good position to be in.
Look at that score difference on all of the Hong Kong players. Basically, everyone got the exact same score. There's like a 30k difference from the lowest to the highest. It's pretty rare to see, actually. I got the synergy on
beautiful.
Point.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say as well. Beautiful team performance. All of them already actually being the lowest on their side, even though they're speed players, you said so. But then again, just a beautiful team performance on his overtime 3 pick, and once again, somewhat backfiring for Team Denmark side, sadly. And now Hong Kong have the opportunity to close it out. Where they're going to take this, they're going to go for double time again, or they're going to go for some Fremont where they beat Denmark, or the long-awaited RO32 map, which hasn't been played apparently. Outer Science, perhaps trying to jinx it just a little bit, but we'll see where they take it.
Yeah, this would be their last pick as well. Lots of decent options still on.
They're definitely taking their time. Referee reminding them to choose a map, and they're going to go for double time too, so they're going to stay in the double time brackets.
I know, that's pretty spicy. This really, really old map from like 2008 or something. It's not something that you commonly see. Honestly, not a lot of context to determine like who's even good on this. It's just not a type of map that you really see that often.
Yeah, both teams playing the dark for this one, I do believe. Same goes for us. But those 2008 maps, yeah, probably most of the time they favor the teams that have more experience, and I think that's definitely the Hong Kong team. So a little wise pick coming from them. Also, they did beat Team Denmark on the double time 3 quite heavily. So again, we'll see. Actually, Mahiziru making his OWC debut as well in this one, so a new player coming from Team Denmark.
I think historically with Hong Kong's players, I'd probably give them an advantage on this, but that's only because I don't really know who on Denmark plays this kind of thing. It's so weird. It's a CS6 alt map with a lot of just type of patterning that you just don't see anymore. A lot of really difficult like snaps and angle changes. It looks really easy to play, but it's just there's so much random stuff in this map that can catch you.
Do you reckon there's some solo care potential on this one, like toilet players?
I think so, but I don't know from who.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. But perhaps one's going to be David, one shining player, toilet player, one's going to make his appearance, so if you can repeat that hidden one performance, then there's definitely opportunities for Team Denmark. Hong Kong being not as consistent this match as they would have liked, opening the door multiple times, so just need one of shiny performance coming from Team Denmark, one player stepping up his game the fullest. They can definitely.
I want to say RLSC is probably really good on this, but I don't know. It's so weird. We're gonna find out a lot of new things watching this.
Definitely looking forward to this one. 2 minutes 13 in length, so once again, relatively short one. CS6 double time. It seemed that Maizuru finding a first break. I think Toriel player as well found a break there. Definitely did now. Only at 70 accuracy, so definitely starting on the beginning sections. Both of them missing once again. RLSC, I think, missing the first 10 combo again for the third time in this match, which is
it has to
incredible.
be intentional.
It has to be at this point. Pauly finding a drop as well, so that's one full combo versus 3 right now. The other Denmark players or Danish players are just struggling just a little bit. Ayame Lover doing everything they can. Looking at a Hong Kong wall right now. Tori player below 80% accuracy, and that's definitely hurting Team Denmark's score.
Yeah, the accuracy. I mean, MCY4 apparently is who I wanted to talk about, getting 99 on this so far. Really, really comfortable.
And look at that score difference: 500,000, 600,000 points. Actually doubling Denmark's score, finding multiple misses once again. Tori player and Maizuru. I'm a lover still on 1 to the FC, but there's 3 FCs on the other side, and ROCS actually with the practically near FC, right? So Suwagi finding the first miss on Team Hong Kong, but Team Denmark need a complete meltdown from Team Hong Kong at this point, I do believe.
It's looking like a 2v4 angle. This is a big lead.
It's definitely quite the performance actually coming from Team Hong Kong. Let's talk about that. It's 2 FCs, 1 near FC and 1 miss right now, and this CS6 AR8 double time pick, which beautiful performance actually coming from them. 2 drops once again from Team Denmark, 1 traded by RLCS. Third player, actually 1 more miss, so only MCY and Ayame Lover. But we're running out of time for Team Denmark, sadly.
Yeah, I think this is kind of one of those picks, I think similar to the way you would talk about like a low AR hidden pick or whatever, where it's just your team probably doesn't have 4 people that are comfortable in this kind of thing, but Hong Kong just disagrees, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, all of their players are above 700,000, by the way. Suwagi can get above, actually, never mind, I lied, 697k. But that is just beautiful team folks coming from Hong Kong, and MCY with a 1.40 million. Ayame Lover as well with the FC, so that's 2 beautiful scores. But Team Hong Kong performance on this one is absolutely brutal, and that's gonna actually conclude this match. Hong Kong looking a bit shaky in the beginning, but definitely this last pick just pure dominance for this one, and that's gonna be a 5-2 scoreline for them. And we'll be continuing forward in the winners bracket. Denmark dropping down to the loser bracket. They're not eliminated just yet. They're still a loser bracket, and they are C24, so that means they do play C25. So on paper, they should have the advantage in the next matchup. Hong Kong, I believe, is going to be facing against seed 8, which should be France, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So that's definitely
Hong Kong, France next week.
Round of 16, Hong Kong, France is spicy. Beautiful match. But always looking forward to those ones where the seats are just practically next to each other or close to each other. But once again, your winners right now, Hong Kong taking it home 5-2 against Team Denmark. Team Denmark definitely had a valiant effort in this one. I congratulate them as well, being quite a few seats down, managing to make it as close as they did. Beautiful performance coming from them.
And I think they'll go down to play against New Zealand in the lower bracket, which is also kind of a scary team. Zoomer and the boys showing up in OWC, I think, for the first time, where they're like actually pretty serious. So yeah, pretty spicy matchup in the lower bracket as well. Both of these for different reasons maybe are going to be very entertaining next week.